Hi, my name is Cinda and I'm the owner of Fly Fish Arizona and Beyond, and there's two tips I want to give you today that hopefully will improve your fishing. One is when we make a cast, the importance of holding on to the line and not letting it go. What I mean by that is when I work that line out on that final cast, I want to hang on to the line so I can grab it with my rod hand. That is so important because I can't tell you how many times I've had a fish eat my fly as soon as it hit the water. And if you let go of the line, like this, now if a fish hits, I don't have any ability to hook that fish. I'm struggling to get the line. You know, it just isn't efficient. So again, let me show you that one more time. When you make that final cast, just let that line slide through your hand, and as you follow through, you can grab it with your rod hand, and now I'm ready when a fish eats. The second tip I want to give you is really important, and it is keeping that rod tip in the water when we move a fly. Now this is important whether we are fishing a woolly bugger, a clouser, a nymph, anything, and I just hooked a fish inadvertently, but it helps you to feel the fish take. There are so many times that we're fishing and we have a lot of slack line and we just aren't ready for the fish. The fish is eating our fly and we just can't feel it. Let's get this guy off the hook and we'll do that again. So, one more time. The way that works is I make my cast. As I said before, when that fly hits the water, I'm ready. Let that rod fly sink and you'll notice that I immediately drop my tip all the way in the water and I get rid of the slack. That way I have a tight line between me and the fish so that when that fish eats the fly, I can feel it. If you've ever done any bait or spin fishing, you know, you fished some bait or a spinner, you realize the importance of keeping the line tight so you feel a fish. The same thing is important if you are stripping a fly in fly fishing. You know, and it even works, you know, if you're going to strip a grasshopper across the top. But again, I want my rod tip all the way in the water, tight line between me and the fish. That way I can feel the take, and then I have tight line. I'm able to set the hook a lot better than if I have my rod tip up. A lot of people I see are fishing like this. Rod tips in the air, they've got a ton of slack. Fish are eating their flies, but they don't feel them because they've got so much slack in their line, and they're never going to really hook up well. It also, if you get a fish that you do feel, you've got so much slack that it's really hard to pull all that slack up to set the hook. So again, if you will keep that fly line tip in the water, line in the water, you will hook and feel a lot more fish. And this works for if you are stripping flies in a lake, obviously. It also is important if you are stripping flies in a stream or a river. Anywhere that you are moving your fly and you're relying on feeling a fish take, rod tip in the water. Floating lines, sinking lines, it doesn't matter. So both those tips again. First one was making that cast, don't let go of the line. That way you've got control, you can grab it with your rod hand and start working the fly. Second tip, rod tip in the water. I hope you've learned something and got a couple of good tips today. See you on the water.